The candidate filings in Du Bois and surrounding counties continue to come in. We update some of the key races, plus Jasper Mayor Terry Seitz is tonight's guest on Monday with the mayor, and Nick Stevens with the Huntingburg Chamber of Commerce is tonight's guest on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin tonight with a Perry County man being taken into custody following a hit-and-run accident at an area casino. At about 8:15 on Saturday evening, Indiana State Police and French Lick Police were called to the French Lick Casino on a report of a hit-and-run vehicle accident. According to State Police, 29-year-old Robert Faith of Branchville had hit another vehicle in a parking garage at the casino, and he attempted to flee the scene. Officers with the Indiana Gaming Commission later found Faith and his vehicle and tried to detain him. Faith resisted arrest and actually battered one of the gaming officers. That officer suffered injuries as a result of the battering. After searching Faith's vehicle, police found marijuana and drug paraphernalia in the vehicle. Faith was taken into custody without further incident and was lodged in the Orange County Jail. He is facing Class D felonies for battery on law enforcement causing injury, possession of marijuana with a prior conviction, reckless possession of paraphernalia, and maintaining a common nuisance. He is also charged with a Class C misdemeanor for leaving the scene of a property damage accident and Class A misdemeanors for resisting law enforcement, operating while intoxicated endangerment, and driving while suspended with a prior conviction. 3 people were injured in a multiple-car accident in Martin County on Saturday afternoon. Just after 3:50 on Saturday, Martin County Sheriff's deputies received multiple calls concerning a multi-vehicle accident with multiple injuries along US 231, about 2 miles to the south of Lagodi. After further investigation, deputies say 28-year-old Milton Durston of Lagodi was southbound along US 231 and stopped to turn left into a residence just south of County Road 100 South. Deputies say 47-year-old Stephen Simmons of Jasper was also southbound on US 231 and later told deputies he was distracted and took his eyes off of the roadway. Deputies say Simmons thus failed to see Durston was turning left and rear-ended Durston's vehicle. The impact caused Durston's vehicle to go into the northbound lane where it collided head-on with a third vehicle driven by 47-year-old Deborah Collignan of Jasper. Deputies say that impact caused Durston's vehicle to turn over onto its driver's side, trapping him in the vehicle. Collignan's vehicle continued northbound and went off of the east side of the roadway where it hit an embankment and rolled over onto its roof. Witnesses later told deputies smoke was coming from the engine area of Durston's vehicle. Deputies say the unnamed witnesses manually turned Durston's vehicle back onto all 4 wheels as they feared the vehicle would catch fire. Witnesses could not get Durston freed from the vehicle due to the amount of damage done to it, but another unnamed individual was able to put out the fire threat with a personal fire extinguisher, according to deputies. Durston was later extricated from the vehicle by emergency personnel. Durston and a passenger in Collignan's vehicle, 48-year-old Brett Collignan of Jasper, were taken to Memorial Hospital and were later airlifted to St. Mary's Hospital in Evansville for treatment of undisclosed injuries. Durston was listed in fair condition while Collignan was listed in good condition. Meanwhile, Deborah Collignan was treated and released at Memorial Hospital and Simmons refused medical treatment at the scene. Deputies say US 231 was shut down for about 3.5 hours on Saturday afternoon while the accident scene was being cleaned up. They do say drugs and alcohol were not a factor in this crash. The Lagodi Police and Fire Departments, Martin County Civil Defense, Martin County Ambulance Service, Southwest Medical, and a wrecker from G&M Wrecker Service all assisted Martin County Sheriff's deputies. Huntingburg police are seeking the person or people responsible for shots being fired near the city's downtown area overnight. At about 12:15 this morning, officers with the Huntingburg Department were called to an area near 4th and Main Streets on a report of several shots that were fired in that area. Officers found several spent ammunition casings in the area when they arrived, but there were no witnesses who could report what had taken place. Du Bois County Sheriff's deputies also assisted at the scene. Anyone who has any information is asked to call the Huntingburg Police Department at 683-3003. As filings for election candidacy continue, several nominations are being sought for seats in counties across our listening area. This morning, Becky Beckman announced her intentions to run for the District 2 seat on the DuBois County Council. The 60-year-old Beckman graduated from Jasper High School in 1971 and from what is now the University of Southern Indiana in 1975. She has previous experience as a property manager in Jasper, Noblesville, and Indianapolis, as well as in Bradenton, Florida. For community involvement, Beckman currently serves as a court-appointed special advocate. She has also served other community organizations like the Jasper Community Arts Council, the DuBois County Substance Abuse Council, and the TRICAP Retired and Senior Volunteer Program, where she has been director. Beckman was presented with the Jasper Chamber of Commerce's annual President's Award back in October. Now, Beckman's filing is another in a series of key filing announcements to have taken place over the last week or so. Late last week, Nathan Verkamp announced that he will be seeking the Democratic nomination for Circuit Court Judge. That position is currently held by William Weichert, who announced last week that he will not be seeking re-election. In Daviess County, Patty Ball announced late last week that she will seek the Republican nomination for the Daviess County Auditor's Office. That seat is currently held by Gail Dodds, who cannot seek another term due to term limitations. Ball currently serves as a deputy in the Auditor's Office, a job that she has held since 2009. Patty and her husband Marty have been residents of Washington since the early 1980s, and the couple have one daughter and 2 grandchildren. Other key filings to have been announced recently are Elmer Bramas filing to run for the District 2 seat on the DuBois County Commissioners and Craig Grolick filing to run for the District 1 seat on the DuBois County Council. With last week's delay in starting this year's state legislative session, area lawmakers are now having to adjust their timeline for getting things done this year. The delay, which occurred due to heavy snows across central Indiana and the bitter cold wave that swept the state last week, moved the bill filing deadline back one day to today. The weather additionally closed all state offices last Monday. District 63 State Representative Mark Messmer says the lost day on Monday will have an impact on this session.
We did lose Monday completely, and in a short session, losing a day does make a difference. We talked about making that day up today, but we had a lot of people who have, regular full-time jobs and had a lot of things committed, for today already. So we'll probably do a make-up day on January 24th, because with limited number of session days, missing a day does make a pretty big difference in getting all of our work processed. So that it looks like we'll have a make-up day at the end of January on a Friday, where we normally would have been off session.
Messmer says although the missed day will make a difference, not much changes for him personally. He says committee work was also put on hold.
It doesn't change the strategy on the bills that I'm filing. I still will have the same number of bills, and we'll have enough committee time. It did kind of disrupt our committee work this week because we lost Tuesday morning committee time, and only about half the committees were able to meet on Wednesday. So we'll probably have to take the days that are left and schedule in. If we have extra time that we need in our committees, we'll have to pick some other alternative times, maybe after session.
Now, lawmakers did return to work for the legislative session last Tuesday. The major issues being pushed in this year's legislative session are the elimination of the business personal property tax, efforts to place Indiana's gay marriage ban into the Constitution, and the so-called Ag-Gag bill, which is aimed at cracking down on trespassers. And this final note for our Ferdinand viewers this evening, officials with the town of Ferdinand have announced that a boil order has been issued for all Ferdinand water customers located from East 3rd Street between Main and Michigan Street. They suggest that customers boil their water for at least 5 minutes before consuming or cooking with or using bottled water. This boil order will be in effect until further notice. All right, coming up after the break, Jasper Mayor Terry Seitz joins me for Monday with the Mayor, plus your local forecast, sports with Kurt Gooksell, and Inform featuring Nick Stevens with the Jasper Chamber of Commerce. That's all coming up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.